They took every penny I had in my savings and in my checking account. If I can't pay my bills between now and next year, I could be in the street real easy.
The scammers targeted him and he took the bait. Tonight, he's sharing his story with Team 10, hoping that other seniors will listen.
Investigator Allison Ash shows us the warnings that this 81-year-old ignored.
Thanks. Thank you.
Meet Ed Ramsey, a San Diego original. He's proud of 81 years of accomplishments.
This is when I was in the sheriff's department.
Ramsey's home is full of mementos. He was once a clothing model. Then in 1964, he was named Mr. Junior San Diego.
Here I'm going backwards barefooted.
That's Ramsey when he did water skiing stunts at SeaWorld. And here he is with his beloved wife, who died 9 years ago. Ed has a lot of friends at church, but he admits he's a little lonely. So when the phone rings, he answers it.
Hello?
Early this year, Ramsey got a call that changed his life.
I won 2 Mercedes, $50,000 in cash, and $20 million in a cashier's check.
The caller said in a thick Jamaican accent he was from the clearinghouse. He told Ramsey to get his winnings, he would need to pay taxes and fees up front.
Ed Ramsey spent 81 years accumulating a life that could be measured in photographs and uniforms and accomplishments displayed on walls. He served in the sheriff's department. He modeled clothing. He performed water skiing stunts at SeaWorld. In 1964, he was named Mr. Junior San Diego, a title that meant something then, a marker of vitality and recognition in a city he never left. His wife died 9 years ago. The photographs remain, the companionship does not. This context is essential. Ramsey was not socially abandoned. He has friends at church. He has a community. But he describes himself as lonely, a distinction that reveals something precise about isolation in old age. One can be surrounded by people and still experience absence. The phone, when it rings, offers presence. Someone is calling. Someone wants to speak. The decision to answer is not naivety. It is responsiveness to a world that increasingly does not reach out. The call came early this year. The voice had a thick Jamaican accent and claimed affiliation with the clearinghouse, a phrase designed to evoke legitimacy without specificity. Publishers Clearinghouse is a known entity. The language borrowed its credibility without using its name. The offer was spectacular. 2 Mercedes, $50,000 in cash, $20 million in a cashier's check. The scale was designed to overwhelm, to short-circuit skepticism through sheer magnitude. Ramsey's response reveals the psychological environment. I'm going bananas. I can think of all the things I could do with it. I don't need it, but I want to buy a new church for us, and there's a lot of people I could help. The fantasy was not selfish. It was generous. He imagined a new church building. He imagined helping others. The scam did not exploit greed. It exploited generosity, the desire of an elderly man to leave something behind, to matter, to contribute in ways his fixed income no longer permitted. The requirement to pay taxes and fees up front is the structural signature of advance fee fraud. It inverts the logic of legitimate winnings while appearing procedurally reasonable. Taxes exist. Fees exist. The request aligned with how bureaucracy actually functions. The process succeeded because it aligned with normal behavior.
I'm going bananas. I can think of all the things I could do with it. I don't need it, but I want to buy a new church for us, and there's a lot of people I could help and things like that.
So he followed the instructions and started wiring money in amounts ranging from $299 to $700, keeping meticulous records and receipts. The phone calls kept coming, but his winnings never did.
They took every penny I had in my savings and in my checking account.
All $29,000. Ramsey now knows it was a scam.
I feel real stupid. I know better.
I said, Ed, don't feel stupid. These guys are good, but you are being brave and you're doing us all a service by telling your story.
The amounts ranged from $299 to $700, not thousands, not tens of thousands, small sums repeated. Ramsey kept meticulous records. He saved receipts. He documented each transaction as if he were managing a legitimate business relationship, because in his understanding, that is precisely what he was doing. He was paying processing fees. He was satisfying tax obligations. He was completing the steps required to claim what he had won. This meticulousness is not evidence of foolishness. It is evidence of the opposite. Ramsey approached the process with the organizational habits of someone who had worked in law enforcement, who understood paperwork, who trusted systems that required documentation. The scammers exploited these instincts. Each receipt was a small confirmation that the process was real. Each wire transfer was a step toward completion. The accumulation pattern remained invisible because each individual transaction felt manageable, proportionate, procedural. The phone calls kept coming. This rhythm is critical to understanding how $29,000 disappeared. The relationship was maintained through sustained contact. Each call reinforced the narrative. Each conversation added urgency, revised timelines, introduced new requirements. The scammer was not a single voice making a single request. He was a persistent presence, adapting the story to each objection, generating new reasons why the winnings had not yet arrived. What makes this case particularly instructive is what happened at Walmart and Western Union. Clerks at both institutions warned Ramsey that he was being scammed. They refused to process his wire transfers. The system, briefly, intervened. Employees recognized the pattern, an elderly man sending repeated small amounts overseas, and they acted. They said no. Ramsey took his business elsewhere. This detail is difficult to absorb. The warnings were explicit, the refusals were direct, and still the transfers continued. This is not a failure of information. Ramsey had information. It is a failure of something deeper, the inability to reconcile external warnings with internal certainty. The relationship with the caller had become real to him. The clerks were strangers. The voice on the phone was familiar. Constrained information operates even when correct information is available. The scammer's version of reality had become more credible than the warnings of people trying to help. He continued until there was nothing left. Savings account, checking account, every penny, $29,000, the sum of decades of work, reduced to zero through transactions of $299 and $700, each one documented, each one authorized, each one a step toward homelessness.
Paul Greenwood runs the district attorney's elder abuse unit. He's seen countless seniors fall prey to this kind of con. Greenwood's team is working to follow the paper trail to try to get Ramsey's money back and send the scammers to the slammer. Those scammers haven't given up on Ramsey, even though he stopped sending money.
Oh, that's him. Oh, that's him.
We were there as Ramsey hung up on the caller twice. I picked up the third call.
We're going to do a story about how you rip old people off.
The man insisted he's Ramsey's friend, and I finally hung up on him.
That shook him up.
Good.
Good. Oh,
I
yeah.
hope so.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it
Well, he
did.
didn't call right back, did he?
No.
High five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice in 20 years. That is the recovery rate for the district attorney's elder abuse unit. 2 successful prosecutions across 2 decades of cases. The scammers operate from jurisdictions that do not cooperate. The money moves through channels designed to resist tracing. The paper trail that Ramsey kept so carefully, the receipts, the records, the documentation of every transfer, leads to wire services and then dissolves into offshore accounts and encrypted systems. The calls continue. Even after the money stopped, the phone still rings. The scammer insists he is Ramsey's friend. The relationship from his perspective is not over. It is paused. The victim has been cultivated. The connection has been established. Perhaps with time there will be more. Perhaps Ramsey will find additional funds. Perhaps he will borrow. The persistence is not personal. It is economic. A responsive victim remains valuable. Ed Ramsey is 81 years old. He served his community. He performed for audiences. He built a life with a woman who died 9 years ago. He has friends at church who do not know what happened. He kept every receipt. He says he could be on the street by next year. The possibility is not hypothetical. It is arithmetic, fixed income, zero savings, bills that continue to arrive. The phone rings. He no longer answers. But somewhere the number remains on a list, a record of successful extraction, a signal that he once believed, that he once sent everything he had, that he once trusted a voice that called him friend.
So what do you tell people who are this age? What's the advice that Paul's giving?
Well, what he says is you need to check with them often. Talk to the elderly people in your life and remind them, make sure that they're not picking up the phone and talking to strangers. And there's a whole list of advice that's on their website, and we've got it on our website under the red TV button. So go to 10news.com. Click that and you should be able to get some good information to use.